Right now, over 52% of all new vehicle sales in America are SUVs. That's more than half the market, and it means millions of people every single year are walking into dealerships, signing contracts, and driving off in vehicles they've barely researched. Some of them get it right, and some of them end up with a 5-figure repair bill before they hit 40,000 miles. Today, I'm going to make sure you fall into the first group. Using data from Consumer Reports, who surveyed over 380,000 real vehicle owners, plus JD Power reliability scores and thousands of verified owner reviews, I've put together 2 definitive lists. 5 SUVs you should run from, and 5 SUVs that are genuinely worth your money in 2025. No fluff, no filler, just the facts. Let's get into it. Part 1. The worst 5. Avoid these. Number 5. Volkswagen Taos. We opened the avoid list with a car that looks harmless, the Volkswagen Taos. On the surface, it's a tidy, well-priced subcompact SUV. The interior is neat and spacious for its size, the ride is reasonably comfortable, and Volkswagen's brand reputation still carries weight with buyers. But Consumer Reports has named the Taos the least reliable subcompact SUV in their 2025 survey, and they've flagged it in the same position for consecutive years. That's not a one-off blip. That's a pattern. The reported problem areas are wide-ranging: brakes, engine issues, in-car electronics, and persistent noises and leaks. Owner feedback specifically points to head gasket leaks as one of the engine-related nightmares facing Taos owners, a problem that should not exist in a relatively modern, entry-level vehicle. Here's what makes this especially frustrating. The Taos is marketed to first-time SUV buyers and young families, people who don't necessarily have the budget to absorb unexpected repair bills. Yet it's consistently letting them down. If you want an affordable, compact SUV that won't become a liability, there are far better options in this segment, and we'll show you 5 of them in the second half of this video. Skip the Taos. Worst number 4. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee has a loyal following. I get it. It's iconic, it looks tough, and it has genuine off-road credentials. But loyalty shouldn't override data. And the data on the Grand Cherokee right now is not good. Consumer Reports ranked it the least reliable midsize SUV in 2025. And this isn't a new development either. The Grand Cherokee appeared on the same list in 2024. The 2024 and 2025 models are essentially the same vehicle, so owners of both are experiencing the same recurring issues. What kind of issues? Steering and suspension problems, drive system faults, engine electronics failures, and persistent noises and leaks top the list. Owner forums are filled with reports of check engine lights that won't stay off, often tied to lane departure warning malfunctions and transmission faults, including gears that slip unexpectedly. For a vehicle starting around $40,000, these are not acceptable problems. You're not buying a project car. You're buying a family SUV, and it should work reliably every single day. The Grand Cherokee has 18 recalls on its first generation alone. If you're shopping in this segment, look at the Toyota 4Runner or the Kia Telluride before you sign anything. Worst number 3. GMC Yukon. The GMC Yukon is a full-size SUV that's been a staple of American family road trips for decades. 3 rows, massive towing capacity, a commanding presence on the road. It checks a lot of boxes for large families who need maximum space. But Consumer Reports scores both the Yukon and Yukon XL at just 28 out of 100 for predicted reliability. That's well below average for full-size SUVs. And the reason comes down to one critical area: the engine. In April 2025, Reuters reported that General Motors recalled approximately 721,000 vehicles, including multiple years of the Yukon, over a potential engine failure risk linked to valve train component issues. That is a massive recall, and it speaks to a systemic problem that GM has been struggling to address across several of its platforms. Beyond the recall, owners report that the technology can feel laggy. Some interior materials don't match the price tag, and fuel consumption with the V8 option is punishing at the pump. Here's the bottom line. If you're paying Yukon prices, which start around $58,000 and can easily climb past $75,000 in higher trims, you deserve a vehicle that doesn't need an engine-related recall before you've finished paying it off. There are better three-row options available right now, and we'll get to them. Worst number 2. Ford Escape Hybrid. This one might genuinely shock you. The Ford Escape Hybrid, a vehicle sold as an eco-friendly, family-practical, fuel-efficient choice, received a predicted reliability score from Consumer Reports of just 21 out of 100. 21. Not a typo. That score doesn't just put it in the bottom tier of SUVs, it makes it one of the least reliable new vehicles of any kind that Consumer Reports currently tracks. The problems affecting owners include major brake failures, in-car electronics breakdowns, and, in multiple documented cases, full hybrid battery replacements. While under warranty, those battery replacements are covered. Once you're out of warranty, you could be looking at a repair bill that rivals a used car payment. Ford has been hit with multiple recalls on the Escape Hybrid in recent years. One covered engine failure and fire risks on 2.5-litre hybrid models. Yes, a fire risk. Another, issued in May 2025 by the NHTSA, addressed battery software issues and powertrain control faults that could result in complete loss of power while driving. For a vehicle positioned as a sensible, responsible daily driver, this track record is deeply concerning. There are far more reliable hybrid SUVs available, including several on our best list, that deliver on the eco-friendly promise without the anxiety. Worst number 1. Mercedes-Benz GLE. And here's the one that stings the most, because the Mercedes-Benz GLE costs so much, yet disappoints so consistently. Step inside and it's undeniably impressive. Plush ambient lighting, premium leather, the signature MBUX dual-screen infotainment with crisp graphics and a voice assistant that actually works. Powertrain options ranging from efficient mild hybrids to performance-tuned AMG models. On a good day, it genuinely feels like a rolling lounge. The problem is what happens on a bad day. Consumer Reports names the GLE the least reliable midsize SUV for 2025, a position it has struggled to escape since its second generation launched in 2020. That's 5 years of underwhelming reliability at luxury prices. The problem areas are serious: brakes, electrical accessories, the fuel system, climate control, and transmission. The 9-speed automatic is particularly notorious. Owners report jerky, rough gear changes that feel completely out of place in a vehicle at this price point. And the MBUX system? Mercedes' own documentation acknowledges it can freeze, crash, or malfunction, requiring resets and software updates. In March 2024, the NHTSA recall covered over 116,000 GLE and GLS models whose 48-volt mild hybrid ground connections could loosen, creating a potential fire risk. The GLE starts at around $62,000. At that price, you are entitled to demand reliability. What you're often getting instead is a beautiful, frustrating, expensive lesson in brand versus reality. If you're shopping in the luxury midsize space, the Lexus RX or Acura MDX will serve you far better. Part 2. The Best 5. Buy these with confidence. Best number 5, Subaru Forester. The Subaru Forester earned a spot on Consumer Reports' 2025 Top Picks list, and it deserves every bit of that recognition. The Forester was fully redesigned for 2025, and Subaru did it the right way. They kept everything that made the original great and fixed the things people complained about. The cabin is now quieter, cargo space has increased, and a 4-cylinder engine upgrade gives it noticeably more torque without sacrificing efficiency. The overall fuel economy improves to 29 miles per gallon. Excellent for its class. What makes the Forester special, though, is the stuff you don't always find at this price point. Standard all-wheel drive is included at no extra cost. Ground clearance is generous, making it genuinely capable on light trails and in adverse weather. Visibility from the driver's seat is outstanding. better than almost any competitor in the class. Starting at around $28,000, the Forester punches well above its weight in terms of value. Add in Subaru's full eyesight safety suite as standard, which includes automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control, and you have a vehicle that's safe, capable, reliable, and affordable. Simple formula, consistently executed. That's why the Forester keeps appearing on best of lists year after year. Best number 4, Kia Telluride. The Kia Telluride is one of the best stories in the automotive industry over the last 5 years. A 3-row family SUV that competes directly with vehicles costing $20,000 more and wins. Starting at $39,500, the Telluride offers a genuinely usable third row, something many SUVs claim but few deliver. Adults can actually sit back there comfortably, which transforms it from a 2+ emergency seat to a real family hauler. The V6 engine is smooth and confident, producing enough power for comfortable highway driving while also supporting a towing capacity of up to 5,500 pounds. Inside, the cabin uses materials that honestly feel like they belong in a vehicle costing significantly more. Premium soft-touch surfaces, a well-organized center console, and an intuitive infotainment layout set it apart from competitors at this price point. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power consistently rate the Telluride well for reliability. Safety features come standard: forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, with available driver monitoring and blind spot technology on higher trims. If you're a family shopping for space, value, and reliability, it's genuinely hard to find a more complete package at this price. The Telluride doesn't just compete with luxury 3-row SUVs, it embarrasses some of them. Best number 3, Toyota RAV4 Prime. The Toyota RAV4 Prime is what the Chrysler Pacifica hybrid wanted to be: a plug-in hybrid that actually works. Consumer Reports placed the RAV4 Prime on its 2025 top picks list, praising its combination of performance, efficiency, and long-term reliability. This is still the most popular SUV in America for a reason, and the Prime version is the best RAV4 you can buy. Here's the headline spec: 302 horsepower from the combined electric and gasoline powertrain. 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. An electric-only range of 40 miles, enough to cover most daily commutes without touching a drop of gas. When the battery depletes, it continues as an efficient hybrid, returning up to 38 miles per gallon combined. For buyers who want the environmental benefits of an EV without the range anxiety of a full electric, this is the sweet spot. You get the best of both worlds. Toyota's reliability reputation is built on decades of data, and the RAV4 specifically has one of the strongest long-term ownership records in the segment. Fuel and climate systems, drivetrain, electronics, these are areas where Toyota consistently outperforms the competition. It's not the flashiest option on this list, but if you want a vehicle you can count on for 150,000 miles without losing sleep, the RAV4 Prime belongs at the top of your consideration list. Best number 2, Toyota Crown Signia. You might be thinking, the what? The Toyota Crown Signia is one of the best-kept secrets in the SUV market right now, and Consumer Reports named it their top-rated mid-size crossover for 2025. Yes, a lot of people haven't heard of it. Toyota introduced this wagon-style crossover as a bold, distinctive option that sits between a sedan and a traditional SUV in terms of profile. It looks like nothing else on the road. Some people love that, others take time to warm up to it. But here's why the styling conversation doesn't matter much. The Crown Signia's hybrid powertrain is exceptional. It returns genuinely impressive fuel economy, allowing you to drive up to an astonishing 530 miles on a single tank of gas. That's near-electric efficiency in a conventional hybrid package. No charging cables, no range anxiety, just extraordinary fuel economy that makes long road trips dramatically cheaper. The ride is smooth and composed. The cabin is well finished with premium materials and a logical control layout. Reliability scores from owner surveys are excellent. No surprise from Toyota. If you've been looking for something different, something that stands out in a sea of identical crossovers while also being one of the most efficient and reliable options in its class, the Crown Signia deserves serious attention. Just go look at it. You might be surprised. Best number 1, Toyota Highlander Hybrid. And the top spot on our best list goes to the Toyota Highlander Hybrid, a 3-row SUV that Consumer Reports has repeatedly recognized as a standout in its class, and one they describe as a genuine unicorn in the mid-size segment. Here's why. Most 3-row SUVs make you choose between space and efficiency. The Highlander Hybrid refuses to make that trade-off. In Consumer Reports' own testing, the Highlander Hybrid returned 35 miles per gallon overall, a figure that rivals compact SUVs while still seating up to 8 passengers and delivering genuinely comfortable third-row space. Push it onto the highway and you can extract 41 miles per gallon, which means a near 600-mile range before you need to refuel. For a vehicle this size, those numbers are extraordinary. Standard all-wheel drive comes included. The cabin is quiet and well insulated, making long trips genuinely enjoyable rather than exhausting. Rear seat comfort is excellent. Passengers in all 3 rows will actually want to be there. Toyota loads the Highlander Hybrid with a comprehensive standard safety suite: automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and rear cross-traffic alert. And predictive reliability data from hundreds of thousands of owner surveys places it well above average for long-term dependability. Starting around $50,000, it's not the cheapest option on this list. But when you factor in fuel savings, the low projected repair costs, and the sheer versatility of carrying a family of 7 in genuine comfort, the Highlander Hybrid delivers exceptional total value. It's the benchmark for what a family SUV should be. If this video saved you from an expensive mistake or pointed you toward your next vehicle, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive, and drop a comment below telling me which of these you're considering.